the 23rd match of the World Cup 2023 currently underway at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. South Africa won the toss and opted to bat first. I think it should have been written, opted to maul the opponents first. In unfortunate news for South Africa, the captain Themba Bavuma has been sidelined due to illness. This isn't the first absence. He also missed the previous match against England. Stepping up to lead the team in his absence is Aiden Markram. On the opposing side, the Bangladesh captain Shakibul Hasan has made a comeback after his injury that prevented him from playing against India. So what's the score right now? South Africa has managed to put Tasneem.
They are currently 349 for the loss of 4, with still 2 overs to go.
Well, absolutely. That was the latest. The loss of 3 wickets in the 40 overs. Currently at the crease are Quinton de Kock and Henrik Klaassen. Notably, de Kock has reached a remarkable milestone, securing his 20th century. Aiden Markram, the acting captain for South Africa, played a significant role, contributing 60 runs before being dismissed by Captain Shakibul Hasan, leading the charge for Bangladesh. Had him caught by Liton Das, Markram achieved his 9th half-century and importantly crafted a century partnership of 131 runs with de Kock. Prior to Markram's departure, Van der Dussen was dismissed with just 1 run to his name. Thanks to Mehdi Hassan, Miraz and Riza Hendricks, contributed 12 runs before being dismissed by Shoreful Islam. Well, to give the latest update, we are joined by 2 of the Zimbabwean legends in men and women cricketing world. Christopher Mfofu, who joins us from Bulawayo. Hopefully we'll get his spelling, name and his pronunciation right. And Tasneem Granger, who's played for 15 years in the women's team and is still an active player. Tasneem, what's the latest right now?
Currently 350 just came up for South Africa, and they still have 1.5 overs to go. You know, I think it's great. I think they probably have personally set themselves a target of 400 somewhere along the line at this World Cup, because what they've been doing just doesn't make a lot of sense to a lot of us out here.
Especially the statisticians. Chris, Bobby, if you can hear us. Chris.
Loud and clear.
Yes, absolutely. What have they been eating? What have they been playing with? Are they living on PlayStation or something? That they come in, score 350, 400 plus, and then it's party time for them.
Oh, it looks like they're playing as a different team. When you look at how positive they've been, I've been really impressed by how their approach in most of the games. And one thing that I said that I was happy for them is that they lost a game against Netherlands that happened early in the tournament, and I thought that was something that is good, you know, to just get a wake-up call before you get to the big stages. So it was, for me, it's been good. I think the loss that the people will be talking about is against Netherlands, but I think that was a good wake-up call for them.
Well, absolutely. It's also a blessing in disguise that their skipper isn't batting and isn't playing the match. What do you have to say about it?
Yeah, we'll say that, but I've always been a fan of Themba. Also on the field, he's quite a good guy to be with. He leads his troops well. I know sometimes if he's not scoring runs, it's not a good thing. But we know the past 1 year to 2 years, he's been their leading run scorer in one-day cricket. So at the same time, it's a blessing also. We saw that Riza took over the last game and he did well. Yes, he didn't do well today. But, you know, he's always that person that you need at the same time as a leader.
Absolutely. You need him as a leader, but he's leading from the sidelines, which is, I think the South Africans won't be complaining about it. Tasneem.
Yeah, true that.
Tasneem. Quinton de Kock, the man, the enigma, and the wicketkeeper who's just announced his retirement from the ODI. What is he made up of? He scored yet another 100. Now, this is the third 100 in the World Cup, in this current World Cup. Just take us through his statistical legendary figures that he's put up on the scorecard right now.
Yeah, so today, you know, he's just been a total force to reckon with. We've seen him miss out against England, and it looks like he's just come out today thinking to himself he's just going to restart his England innings and as well as continue it into his Bangladesh innings today. You know, he's just been spectacular for me. You know, his first 50 came up in just 47 balls. His second one in 54 balls, but the third one, that's where it is for me.
Yeah.
It's just
28
balls.
deliveries.
Yep, definitely. So he's definitely been doing something, you know. And I think when you get one guy in your team that's able to play the anchor and the aggressor at the same time, it gives guys a lot of comfort to know he's at the crease and he's out there for longer periods of time.
Well, anchor and aggressor. Let's look at his statistics. He scored 15 boundaries and 7 sixes with a strike rate of 124. And if you look at his record, most 150 scores as wicketkeeper in ODIs. 3 by Quinton de Kock, 2 by Adam Gilchrist, 2 by Jos Buttler. Quinton de Kock also got his 20th ODI 100 today and third in the World Cup. Quinton de Kock becomes the first player to have 400 runs in the World Cup of 2023. Oh my God, the statistics are amazing, are enormous. Tasmin, just take us through the other statistics that we may
Yeah, you know,
have forgotten.
I think he had key supported partnerships around him. Obviously, Aiden Markram in as a stand-in captain as well. He scored 60 today of just 69 balls. And, you know, it's great to see guys come out there and not say to each other to say, look, you're going at it and I'm going to take it easy. But everyone's just told each other, you know, I think as a batting unit, they've said, look, you're capable of this and I know you got this. If it's in your hitting zone, go for it, you know. Henrik Klaasen, again, still in there. He's on 84 right now, just off 47 deliveries. From the time he came in, he's teed off. His first ball, he nudged it for 1, happened to get 2 off a fumble. From there on, he was like, look, guys, I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. And he just went at it. He's been hitting sixes for me since he got in. And that's a big deal. He's hit 8 sixes so far in this inning and just 2 fours only. So that tells me already that he came in meaning business. He didn't come in trying to push the scoreboard, let it keep ticking. He came in saying, I'm rushing the scoreboard and this is what's going on.
Well, Chris, one quick question to you. You've been playing for long, you've been watching World Cup for long, your memory serves. My memory goes back from the 1987 World Cup. Have you seen any wicketkeeper batter as aggressive as Quinton de Kock and who middles the ball as sweetly as him with higher strike rate of over 100? Your views?
For me at the moment, I'll say he's the best wicketkeeper batsman moving around. Yes, you've got Jos Buttler, but for Queenie, he's speaking for himself. You're just talking about this. I was watching one of his documentaries with Pomi Mbanga the other day, and they asked him, what do you do as your preparation? The first thing that he said he hates practice. So in any kid who's out there, this man is not one of those people that you follow in terms of practice and everything, because he says that he's a man that he loves his fishing a lot. And when you look at the guy who does that, and then when he comes to the game, he gets there, his mind is focused on scoring runs, and he does it day in and day out. So
what is your memory? What is, Chris, what is your memory? Because you've been across the border, played in the South Africa much more than you've played in India. What is your memory of Queenie as a wicketkeeper batter?
For me, it's good memories. I've got Queenie 2 times in 2019 when we were in South Africa, one at Team Square Leg and one at Midon. So it wasn't as brutal as I've seen it in this one there. So I've been on the better side, if I can remember properly.
Well, that's a good thing for a fast bowler when an aggressor and an anchor doesn't score much of you and he succumbs to your delivery. We've got an update. Henrik Klaasen. Tasneem, what's the latest on that?
South Africa now 374 for the loss of 5. Henrik Klaasen just fallen short of his 100, coming out on just 90. 10 runs away from it, off 49 balls. Yet again, I will emphasize that these guys are out here just making it look like they came to have a range hitting session for me, you know. In the past, I'd say 15 balls, they've scored a total of 33 runs. If you look at their last 50 runs that came up for them when the 350 mark came up, that came up in just 25 balls.
4 overs in that. You want to just look at 41 till the 50th over, last 10 overs, how many did they score? But Bob, what's happening? Are they going on a golf tee-off session? Or is it what? I mean, or the boundaries have suddenly shrunk?
No, not really. I think the mindset, when I look at this, for me, the mindset of these South Africans at the moment, like I said, when I was just telling someone that when they came to this World Cup, not a lot of things were said about, you know, being the World Cup favorites and all these things. And I feel like this time, they've come up with a little bit of less pressure, unlike what I've seen in all these years that have passed. People have been saying South Africa, the team to beat, but not a lot was talked about when they came to this World Cup. That's why at the moment you see the way they're playing, they're so free, and there hasn't been a lot of news about them winning the World Cup, and we're seeing them slowly getting to that position of being contenders of this World Cup at the same time.
Well, this is great news for the fans. However, if you're a fast bowler, do you think it's not the right time, it's not fashionable to be a bowler? Forget being a fast bowler.
It's one of those times where you say, at the end of the day, you give everything that you have. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But like you said, it's not...
Chris,
it's not
I'm going to just interrupt you here for a minute. Taslim has got some stats which will again scare any bowler right now. Tell me.
So currently South Africa in their last 10 overs, still with 3 balls to come, have scored 136 runs.
Oof. 136 in the last 10 overs. Is that what cricket has gone to? I think we're talking about seriously some PlayStation or some e-games score. Well, moving on to some serious part. Chris, I think with the way things are going, number 1, 2, 3 is firmly settled on your favorites. India has got 10 points, New Zealand 8, and today I guess even South Africa will move on to 8. So you've got clear winners in the first 3 teams that are looking to qualify, the favorites, almost qualification. Therefore, therefore, this run rate is equally important. It's not how you win the match. It's how you put the net run rates in. Your views on the net run rate part?
I think you talked about this about a week ago, and your prophecy is actually coming true. And you look at it, I think right now the issue of run rate, and Tez talked about it also, and the issue of run rate is definitely coming into the party right now. Like you say, that number 4 spot, we might find teams being in the same position in terms of points, but now the issue of run rate will definitely come to be the one that controls everything.
Well, absolutely. It's controlling everything. In the meanwhile, let me just also give you a little good information. Zimbabwe wins the toss and will bat against Namibia. Are you keeping an eye on that match as well?
Definitely. I was asking my young brother right now if he's got the link of the match so that I can watch straight after
I've just sent you the link. I've just sent you the link right now. Anyways, Taz, moving on to you. What is the final score and what does it look like? Tell me the bowlers who've been battered, mauled, and clinically they've been like devastated.
It's you have Hassan Mahmood. He's still got 1 ball to come, but he's cruising at 11.48. That's a crazy economy. I think Bobby might just reiterate that as a seamer, that might be a bit painful for the ego as well. You know, guys today, like, you know, no one got a start for me. Shakib Al Hasan, probably he's down there. He's got 7.66 of an economy. He's gone for 69 runs in just his 9 overs. The only guy really sticking out today, Mendy Miraz, he's got 4.88 as his economy. You know, he picked up 1 wicket early on up front, and it's just been a crazy show today. Besides those guys, everybody else is going at about 8 anywhere and above there, you know. So South Africa's really come out today and taken the show to Bangladesh, I believe. You know, current score coming up for you right now, South Africa have said 382 for the loss of 5 in their total 50 overs.
382. I'm just wondering, what is it for 2 innings?
No, 1. And actually, just to correct myself again, I told you the score with 3 balls left to go that they had scored 136 runs in their sort of almost 10 overs. At the end of 10 overs, they've actually scored 144 runs in the last power play.
Last power play, 144. Is this, it's scaring but true, but Chris, is it the template set for future that it's going to be 100 plus? We've discussed it yesterday, but I think they're just putting it up for our viewers. Is 100 the new norm?
Definitely, that could be, as long as if you've got those wickets in hand, you've got 6 wickets or more. For me, that is going to be the norm. And I'll go back to the issue that I said a few months ago. Very soon we'll be saying 400 runs will be one of those scores that is just easy to be done. And the teams that are chasing, they'll always believe anything less than 350 that they can chase it. And just
Chris,
how
one
one-day
question.
white ball cricket is going at the moment.
One pertinent
Yeah.
question. With heavy bats, squeezed boundaries, how do you get the bowler to bowl and get a tight line in this situation where the batters are out there and just middling everything?
It's one of those things that it creates heroes also at the same time. Yes, the boundaries have been pushed in, but just imagine as a bowler, we saw Mohamed Shami the other day getting 5 for 50. For me, that shows how amazing those fast bowlers are. You know, that's where it shows the real great bowlers and other bowlers. So for me, that's the time where you need to start saying to yourself, where do I bowl? Yes, the bats have become bigger, the boundaries have become smaller, but you have to find a way. That's just how it is. At the end of the day, find a way on how to get it.
Tasneem, hypothetical situation. You're walking inside the Bangladesh dressing room, telling these guys, tell me, what will you tell them? The first three things, how to chase this total.
You know, I'd just probably try and deconstruct the South African innings. You know, you want to take a leaf from what they've done, regardless of losing 2 early wickets. You know, they came in with a plan to reconstruct, but not reconstruct and take time to reconstruct and immediately start piling on the runs, you know. So I definitely come in there. I tell my guys that they're capable, you know. Nothing's changing, not much is going to change with the surface coming into the evening as well.
So will you divide it into first 10 overs, then 40 and then 50?
Yeah, definitely. I think not even go by the power play situation. I'd want to break it up entirely for my guys, you know. I want to let them know to just play it 1 to 10, 11 to 20 and so forth. Just break it up into 10 over intervals. Because I think the moment you start looking at the bigger picture, then the finish line looks like it's completely far away, you know. But if you keep breaking it down in stages and ticking those boxes, you know, try and keep wickets in hand like Bobby's mentioned, so that you do have the ability to accelerate.
First power play, what would be your suggestion? Score and wickets.
I think possibly no loss of a wicket for me in the first 10, as well as I wouldn't say 6 is the place to be for anyone today, you know. Chasing a total this big, they want to be anywhere near 80 runs for me, you know, that's a good start. We seen yesterday in the Afghan innings, you know, they had a slow start, but from the middle power play, from power play 2, they stayed at least 20 runs ahead of what was required of them. So it's something you want to do so that you don't actually have enough pressure pushing down on you in the last 10. You want to be comfortable in the last 10 because this is where you want your game to really show.
And in the last power play, the last 10 overs, what is the ideal thing that you're looking at? Since it's a hypothetical question.
I think, you know, yeah, we've seen that the par is probably about 100. So you want to find yourself somewhere around, I'd say, the 250, 280 mark, and maybe even better, touching 300 and just hoping to chase the last 82 runs. It sounds kind of insane personally for me, but yeah, you want to find yourself chasing down the last 82 runs in the last 10 overs.
Well, absolutely, 82 runs in the last 10 overs. Chris, what do you make of this situation since we are wrapping this show? What are your final thoughts on the game today?
Definitely South Africa to win it, and I would love to see Bangladesh putting on some show. Yes, lose, but lose with pride at the end of the day. Even if they get to 300, I'm not saying they're not trying to chase it, but if you're going to lose with a bit of dignity with it.
Well, absolutely. Just hold on to this thought. Even Afghanistan has been losing, but they came little too close before they lost the match, and they never give up. Do you think that's also a template for an underdog, how to chase and never give up, unlike how Pakistan did in the first 2 losses? Your views?
Definitely. The issue of not giving up is a key word that you say there. You know, like this, just imagine if you score about 80 runs, I guess Tez will said it in the first 10 overs, and you haven't lost a wicket, and you just push it. There's a time where you get to 30 overs, you start believing and saying that, oh, well, we can actually, I think that's something that happened to Afghanistan yesterday. They realized that, okay, we can actually win this game. It's one of those things where you create heroes, and I believe Bangladesh has got a few players that can do such.
Absolutely. We hope to see that, because fans at the end of it are the ones who are taking this forward, putting their hard-earned money to buy those tickets, the subscription, to ensure that this game goes to the highest levels. Taz, what's your last thoughts about this match? What do you think the match is going to look like after the 35th over?
Probably, I'm going to give you 2 sides of this coin, because that's just how it's made. South Africa would probably love to at least have Bangladesh, I'd say 5, maybe 6 wickets down, so that they can definitely pile the pressure back on with probably, I'd say, a required run rate from them of no less than 8 to actually say that they're stamping down on them. You know, they're ready to trump on them. But on the other side of the coin, you know, Bangladesh would want to love to have wickets in hand and just tell themselves, you know, in the last 15 overs, if we've got guys like Shakib and Mushfiq still at the crease, then we stand a very high chance. We know that Shakib can hit the ball. We know that there are guys at the bottom. I'd like to see Shanto come to the party today, maybe 100 for him as well. You know, he is about 14 runs away from scoring his first 1,000 runs at the ICC World Cup. So I'd like to see Shanto come to the party today and just have a good knock.
Well, absolutely. Well, the house is divided between the two Zimbabwean cricketers. One says South Africa, the other says Bangladesh. Well, that's all we had time for. We'll wait for another couple of hours to see where this match emerges and who wins the match.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.